It's manga time once again with Bleach 525 Edges. What's up, guys? How you doing? Before we start, if you're a fan of gaming, would you mind checking out my very first game review of DMC Devil May Cry? Drop me a comment to let me know how you think I did and whether you want to see more of them. Because I'm actually quite happy with the video, but I would really appreciate some feedback. And also, don't forget to subscribe for more. This chapter carries on from the end of the last one, Kenpachi versus Unohana again, and it solves the mystery of what happened at the end of the last one, although a lot of people got it already, myself not included on the first read-through. Whereas I thought Kenpachi was just getting affected by Unohana's bloodlust. You know, if you read properly, you could see that she had blood on her face and he still had the cut through his neck, so a lot of people came to conclude that she had actually stabbed him and maybe she was doing something. Turns out they were right. She was killing him and healing him to bring him back, because apparently every time he dies he comes back stronger. This gets expanded upon a bit in this chapter. And what's really cool in this chapter that I liked is that we get a flashback. We actually see Kenpachi as a child, something we've never seen before. So yeah, basically it's those two just are clashing still. And then we get a flashback of Unohana looking for rounding up Rukongai residents, and this Shinigami dude she's with thinks that she's killed them all. And he's like, oh, this must be, you clearly haven't found anyone strong enough to meet your satisfaction. And she's like, I didn't kill these people. And then you see Kenpachi as a little boy climbing all over this pile of bodies, and he's like some monkey. And he attacks her, and they have their very first fight, and you see that she gets stabbed in the chest, and he gets a cut down his face, and she's like, well, basically what happens here is Kenpachi apparently puts shackles on himself in this very first fight, and these shackles he's never broken. And so the power levels that are frankly very hotly disputed around Kenpachi's battles are now kind of resolved. The reason he lost to Ichigo is because these shackles were really badly still on him. Then he nearly died, and so I presume those shackles got broken a little bit, which allowed him to barely defeat Noitra Gilga. And then, obviously, Shuharbak was way out of his league anyway, so he just beat the crap out of him. But it does kind of make sense, and now the whole Yami thing kind of makes a bit more sense. Kenpachi technically is stronger than Ichigo, at least at that point in the story. He was still technically stronger than Ichigo, so now power levels are making a bit more sense. And that's a nice bit of clarification. Overall, I like this flashback. It's always nice seeing people at different ages, because it's just nice seeing backstory we've never seen before. I do kind of hope this isn't it we get for Unohana's backstory, though, because she's still one of the most mysterious characters in the series, and I love to see her interacting with some more characters in the past. So yeah, Kenpachi's been putting these shackles on himself, and this is apparently Unohana's sin. Kenpachi saw her as his rival. He saw her as the only person he could actually have a good fight with. But to do this, he had to put shackles on himself because she was still technically weaker than he was. Which basically means that Kenpachi, as a child, was some ridiculously strong guy who was like tearing people up out of captain level, even as a child. But what this also means, I think, is that he hasn't gotten any stronger since this day. In fact, he's just been getting weaker. So now that Unohana's been killing him and bringing him back to life, he is now the same strength as he was when he was a child, I think. Which probably means he's not going to necessarily defeat Unohana, because the chapter ends with him sort of, I suppose, coming back. Maybe not completely, but he's looking pretty happy with himself. And then Unohana seems to revert back to Retsu Unohana, if you will, when she realises what's happening, and the chapter ends with this Kenpachi doing a colossal slash down the front of Unohana, and that's the end of the chapter. Okay, my first point, I don't think Unohana's dead. Loads of chapters in Bleach have ended with someone getting slashed. Sometimes they've been killed, like Stark and Ginjo, but a lot of times they haven't died. I doubt she's dead. One, he only hit her with one hand, so it wasn't a kendo strike. And I just don't think it's going to happen, because we don't know anything about her, and if she does die, I'll be severely disappointed. I really like the backstory. Personally, I don't find Kenpachi all that interesting a character, so I'm not necessarily too happy about the notion that he is the strongest Shinigami in Soul Society. Because Unohana says, I'm stronger than anyone apart from you, and I was just like, really? Really? And, you know, it's just a lot of Kenpachi hype. If Kubo's got a plan for it, then fair enough. But, personally, I'm not hugely keen on that. I'm going to drop an 8 out of 10 on this chapter. I always love getting another flashback. Admittedly, not a huge amount happened, but I do hope he continues the fight next week. What do you guys think? Do you think Unohana's done for? Is that it? What do you think of this notion that Kenpachi is ridiculously powerful? What did you think of seeing Kenpachi as a kid? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to leave me a thumbs up. But yeah, that's it. I think for now. Do you think we're going to see maybe Unohana's Bankai soon, or is it not going to happen in this fight? If it doesn't, is she going to survive and use it against the Stern Ritter? Let me know in the comments below. But until then, I'll catch you next week. See you later.